Residents of Sibi in the Tamale North district of the Oti region dig around a stinking, dirty brown pond to harvest water for drinking and other domestic use. The situation, residents say, has affected every aspect of their lives. According to them, government workers posted to the area leave after a while. Peter Seno visited the community and reports.
Residents at Sibi in the Tamale North district tell Joy News the animals would not want to drink from this source. From these dugouts, it is first come, first serve until one's pans are filled with water. The brown, stinking, dirty, stagnant water is what residents here depend on for their immediate domestic use.
Since we vacated last 3 months, we have no water to drink. We find it difficult to go to Damango and go to fetch water. So this one we are pleading. Everybody should help us. Look at how our people are suffering. We can since morning to evening, we will not get water to drink. We the student cry. Sometimes we doesn't have the zeal to go to school because some of the leaders in our communities, they are there. Yes. They can't even talk for us that we don't have water. And we have so many great people in this society, but we see nothing. So if you people can help us, I should help us. Look at this water, very dirty. We are going to drink, cook. So we are pleading so that you guys should help us.
Those who can afford say they would have to travel to Kwaza or Damanko to get safe drinking water. They spend not less than 50 Ghana cedis a day. The mostly peasant farming residents say this is affecting their quality of life. The dire situation has affected education, health, and even religious activities in the area as Muslims enter the holy month of Ramadan.
As there is no water, the way we do our things, if it has come to dry season, we cannot go to farm. And the market too, and ladies are not suffering. So some don't have time for their work. We have reached Ramadan now, and there is no water in the mosque. So we travel far away to get water. And then fasting too, we have to wake up early and do our cooking. So it has become a problem.
Most children also turn the place into playground as they wait for their turn. 2 children, we are told, died from snake bites while searching for water. Residents are placing SOS call to all and sundry to come to their aid immediately to provide potable water as their plight is dehumanizing.
To the best of my knowledge, digging boreholes here will not get water. If only government will help and give it a big dam, that one will even help more than even coming to dig. Even if it is 1,000 boreholes, we will not get water. Because people are trying a lot of digging it, but they are not getting water.
If a day break like this, how the children to get the water and bath and go to school is a major problem in our community here. And the doctors, those are here, nurses, they are suffering of the water. If they post them to come here and do works excellently because of the water, they will not come. So now we need the help from the government to assist us.
This dugout has been dug since in 1960s, our great-grandfather's time. And I will plead on the government if he can come to our aid to convince it to a dam, so that maybe one village, one dam, if he can convince it to it, so that it can stay. When they dug this thing, it takes us 20 years before it is even getting full. And they re-dig it again, it takes 15 years, and this is where it has been reached. So I'm pleading the government to come to our aid if the one district, one dam, or the one village, one dam, if he can come and then reconvent it so that it can be deep for us to use again.
The 2 chiefs who preside over the town have these to say.
So come no yedi ma ye wa ha papa nso a ye nye wa ha no gise kpasa na ye beko nkola kwa ne ha ye pa tuturu no se ebia motokin anase car na sese wo se ye tinye na dabi mistake bi ba mo na se accident ba danu de na ya wie kura.
Naturally, Sibi hilltop, it is difficult for us to get water. A lot of politicians have been trying to help us in order to get water for us, but when they dig, they don't get water unless they travel distance from the village before they could get water. So in fact, the dam that our forefather dug is a place we normally source water from, and it's very dirty too. So it has not been helping us. Every year we suffer for water, not only this year.
Quality health delivery in the area is equally being affected.
And in prevention, you need water. Water is life. Without water, you can't do anything. And how can you live in a community without water? It's a very serious issue. I've been here for 4 years now. And if I want to share my past experience, it's not easy.
Peter Seno filed that report. Now, speaking earlier on News Desk, Henry Ampa Johnson, OT Region Director at the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, said the problem will be fixed within a year.
And we are trying to put all the broken facility back in place. We have gotten water system managers who are there, a water system manager and his staff who are there now trying to fix it. So that is the story now. And I want to assure the listening public that within the next 6 to 1 year time, CB and its environment will be given potable or safe drinking water. They were called to a roundtable conference, and I think all issues were addressed. That is one of the challenges we had. That's why government has mandated CWSA to go in, manage the facility directly, bring in professionals so that it will be accountable to CWSA, and that is what we have started across the country.
Well, for his part, Yao Ata Ahin, who is the WASH Technical Coordinator of the World Vision Ghana, said provision of potable water for rural communities has not been a priority for successive governments.
Who doesn't know that the easiest way to deny people social and economic opportunities and to trap them in a perpetual cycle of poverty is to deny them access to safe water, safe drinking water? And yet, we know all this, and we allow communities to rely on such dirty and contaminated water. I mean, it is unacceptable anywhere in this world. Look, unfortunately, safe water delivery doesn't appear to be a priority, and very little improvement is happening.
Coordinator for the WASH program there. Away from that, residents of Fortaya, Balai, Buili and Bomo in the Tamale North constituency are calling on contractors working on the Fortaha road to, as a matter of urgency, fix problems caused by the diversion that they've created. The road, which serves over 8 communities and the landfill site, has been under construction since 2018. Even though contractors have been on the road for the past 3 years, significant work has not been done.
3 weeks ago, the contractor created a diversion to work on the bridge that has consistently flooded each rainy season. But the diversion is creating discomfort for residents. Speaking to Joy News, the residents said there have been several accidents due to the poor visibility, especially at night due to the dust. They appeal to the authorities in the area and the contractor to do the needful by fixing the challenge before the rains set in.
This our road, we don't know what is going on. We have to do something for us because it's not easy. Our contractor is not trying. It's not trying. We have this. And anytime we are coming, because of this road we are afraid. 3 days today, my children cannot go through because the road is bad. I nearly cross a tipper tracks here with my 3 children. When I die, even when I die and my children are alive, they will be alive and talk about this road. But see the way the road is, we are begging them. They should do something for us. We know that it's not easy, but they should do something for us.
People are carrying their children to school under this. You see, they inhale the dust. Nobody cares. Women are falling down here. Nobody cares. And it's unfortunate. I don't know what the contractor is taking us to. Please, they should come to our aid. It's becoming serious. You wash your car today, and tomorrow you have to wash it. Imagine the health implications of a situation like this. People inhaling, going to school with this, coming back. I'm fortunate I have a car. I'm able to carry my kids to school. Look at children sitting on motorbikes under this. Look at this woman carrying a less than a year-old baby. The baby is inhaling the dust. The woman is inhaling the dust.
This place.
Martin Abugri with that report. The European Union is threatening to impose restrictions on Ghana and La Côte d'Ivoire on cocoa exportations into ports of their member countries if the deforestation that is being caused by illegal mining is not dealt with by the two countries. According to the Deputy CEO of Cocoa Board, Dr. Emmanuel Ajimanjumo, who revealed this at the ongoing National Consultative Dialogue on Small-Scale Mining, the EU also believes that the growing of cocoa in a thick forest might be one of the driving forces. Ghana exports 80% of its cocoa into the European Union market, according to Cocoa Board, and is worried about the impacts that the Galamsey menace could have on the finances of the country and the cocoa sector. Let's go on Zoom now. My colleague Kweku Asante has more of what transpired at the Consultative Dialogue on Small-Scale Mining. Hello, Kweku.
Hello.
Did Cocoa Board share details on this threat of a ban, and what actions have they outlined to take?
Right. So far, in terms of the things that Cocoa Board will be doing to ensure that this ban does not take place has not been outlined yet. I'm looking forward to talking to this deputy executive of Cocoa Board. But this important point was made when he came up the forum to try and make some points about the impact of Galamsey on cocoa growing in some areas. He said, for instance, that in Western region, which is one of the most important cocoa growing areas in the country, about 5,000 hectares of land have been lost to Galamsey. And he's revealed that reclaiming every single hectare of land costs close to 10,000 cities, which is to be able to reclaim all these lands, a very huge cost on government. And he made the point that the European Union is threatening Ghana and Ivory Coast, which is one of the two leading cocoa growers in the world, that if they do not take immediate action to halt the deforestation that is taking place in cocoa growing areas, they will put some ban on Ghana and Ivory Coast from importing or exporting these cocoa products into European Union markets. And so this will mean that Ghana will lose a lot of money because, like you said, 80% of Ghana's cocoa goes to the markets in the European Union. And so we are looking forward to this breakout session that is about to happen, where government and the Cocoa Board will tell us how they intend to deal with this problem.
Well, we wait for that. But before you go, Kweku, let's talk about Ikiadonko. She was there as well and apparently raised some objection about language. Well, what was all that about?
Right. So according to Madam Ikiadonko, the language that has largely been used at this dialogue has been English. And she says that if you go down, the people who are impacted by Galamsey, the people whose cocoa farms are being destroyed, including herself, do not understand English. They cannot speak English. And so if such forums are organized, and although she says they are laudable, languages that the people who are impacted should rather be spoken. And so she's calling on the president and the land minister to organize another forum. But this time, only Ghanaian languages should be spoken so that those who are impacted can really listen in and contribute about the kind of impact that Galamsey is having on them.
Interesting point she makes there. Kweku, thank you very much. Kweku Asante is my colleague who is monitoring for us that dialogue, which is still ongoing. Yeah, welcome back. This is Joy News Today. I am Gifty Andopia. This afternoon, the government is being urged to immediately deploy funds to enable relevant enforcement agencies to deal with the carnage on the nation's roads. 105 days since the year 2021 took off, and a total of 771 deaths have already been confirmed as arising from road accident. This puts the daily average of deaths on Ghana's roads this year at 7. That's for daily rate. The latest accident since Tuesday have resulted in 18 deaths. Security analyst Professor Kwesieni argues that accidents have moved beyond a national security threat to become something that threatens our very existence as a nation.
It goes beyond just the security side. It encompasses economy, it encompasses our developmental schemes, it encompasses the family, community coherence. Our very existence is at is in danger. If the COVID had killed the number of people that have died last year and this year, if HIV kills at the rate that people are dying on our roads, we would have elevated it an existential threat. We would have found extra budgetary resources to ensure that the carnages are brought under control. We would have called those who are responsible to talk to the people of Ghana about the interventions that they are making, similar to the COVID intervention. Okay, so we need to change our approach, our attitude, our understanding to road traffic carnage. It's more than just what we see on the roads. Our very survival, our peace of mind is actually under threat, because now you cannot take it for granted that X is going to this place and will return safely.
Professor Kwesiening there. The National Road Safety Authority says it will reintroduce the road toll levy as part of measures to improve safety on the country's roads. Moves to implement a law that imposes a mandatory levy on all owners and persons in charge of motor vehicles for the purpose of towing broken down or disabled vehicles on our roads were abandoned following a public uproar. But nearly 800 lives have been claimed through accidents in the first quarter of this year, according to data available to the Ghana Police Service. Director of Planning and Programs at the NRSA, David Adontain, tells Joy News they have plans to bring it back.
The problem is still there, still killing people. We, as the National Road Safety Authority, we think that this project has not been abandoned. We will come up with it again. At the moment, we are discussing amongst ourselves technically. We are discussing with our ministry, with the police and other stakeholders. We are discussing even at parliament level. Bring back the project, because we have realized that across the world, projects of this nature, because of its capital intensiveness, it is a private sector.
Mr. Adontain there speaks for the National Road Safety Authority. 3 lives have been lost in another accident that occurred today on the 37 Burma Camp Road at around 10 p.m. last night, I beg your pardon. The accident, which involved 2 young men who eyewitnesses say were racing along the road, took the lives of 3 local hawkers and badly injured 3 others after the cars ran over them. Here is an eyewitness's account.
And then around by 10:30. Now your station inside. Now cars na sports cars ni bi wo mu na so won resist.
Around 10:30 last night, 2 sports cars were racing on a stretch. I don't know what exactly happened, but before we realized, they had run over a number of hawkers. We were the only drivers available, so we helped the police to move them from the scene.
Pavement and so on. The 2 farms, so in 6, or 37. The police for by Tamale North and the young Kwana Abu driving in uniform car, so therefore my fan called Barras inside. Now to woman hand over police for.
Well, commercial drivers at the 37 stations say private drivers are the cause of the frequently occurring road accidents.
Private drivers, no. Because of automatic.
Most of these private drivers are not experienced, especially the Uber drivers. It's hard to find throttle drivers causing problems on the road because we understudied drivers for a long time before we become drivers.
As a throttle driver being a problem because throttle driver no we demate work our experience.
The private drivers no cause the most problem in throttle drivers. The private drivers no.
Private drivers are the cause of all our accidents. Yet we are always blamed simply because people think private drivers have money.
Private driver no cause problem no. Maybe a private driver no ni sikanti we say na dey atia throttle driver no.
Throttle drivers are obenya accident na be a fairly brake ni brake atoma na say BBC. So by young boys see if
a throttle driver gets an accident, it means his brakes have failed. But these young boys are paying for licenses every day without going through any learning process. But for us, we learn before we become drivers.
Now,
Judith Awache Tando with that report there. Now, one armed robber identified as Shankiki, aged 30, was killed, and 2 connected with the Market Circle robbery in the Western Regional Capital, Takoradi, are on the run following a gun battle between the police and the robbers. The victim and his wife, who reside in Switzerland, came to Ghana to monitor a building project.
A team of officers from the Western Regional Criminal Investigations Department, together with officers from SWAT Accra region, conducted an intelligence-led operation to arrest suspects who are wanted in the Takoradi Amanfo robbery and murder on 12 of April 2021. Police closed in on suspects at Elmina along the Cape Coast Takoradi Road. In an attempt to arrest the suspects, they engaged police in a shootout, but one of them, later identified as Shankiki, aged about 30 years, was gunned down. 2 others managed to escape on one other motorbike.
Following the recent robbery and murder incidents within the Tekende Takoradi metropolis, the Western Regional Criminal Investigation Department, together with SWAT from Accra, conducted an intelligence-led operations. And yesterday at about 8 p.m., they accosted the robbers on the Elmina Cape Coast Road. The robbers engaged the police in a gunfire battle, and in the process, one of the robbers by name Shakinki, who is aged about 30 years, was gunned down. The other 2 managed to escape. Shakinki was gunned down, was on board a motor vehicle with registration number M-606-20. It was retrieved from the scene. His body has been sent to the police hospital morgue. When the motorbike was inspected, it was realized that he had put a sticker on part of the registration number for it to read Jean W606. The team were able to locate the hideout of these criminals, and when they got there, they were able to arrest one Hussein Inusa, aged 25 years. They also found 1 AK spent ammunition. They also found a talisman and a live tortoise at their hideout. Inusa Hussein is currently in police custody, being interrogated.
Body of deceased suspect robber is being conveyed to the police hospital morgue for presentation and autopsy.
On the lookout for the 2 others who ran away. So we are still closing in on them, and we are hoping that with the cooperation we are getting from the public, we'll be able to arrest them.
Maxwell Agbagba with that report. The Food and Drugs Authority (FDA) has asked manufacturers of herbal products to ensure strict adherence to the standards of the World Health Organization. Principal Regulatory Officer Anita Owusu-Kufuor says producers face possible shutdown if they fail to uphold best practices in herbal drug manufacturing. She spoke at a meeting with industry players in Kumasi. Kofi Asari reports.
The FDA is collaborating with the Herbal Drugs Manufacturers Association of Ghana to abreast industry players on standards for efficacy. Principal Regulatory Officer Anita Owusu-Kufuor says herbal manufacturers will have no excuse but to conform to good practices.
We've been going around to their facilities for some time, and when there are issues for them to address, which is non-compliances, they are asked to do it, and they do it well. However, we've gotten to a stage in the regulation that they have to upgrade the way in which they handle other issues that may come up, from the facility management, cleaning, sanitation, and documentation as a whole. So this is an interactive program to strengthen the already bond that we have with the local industry, which is the herbal.
President of the Herbal Drugs Manufacturers Association, Dr. Solomon Piakubi, wants President Akufo-Addo to publicly announce the efficacy of herbal drugs to allay public perception and to boost the industry. According to him, the industry is ready to produce quality products and adhere to good manufacturing practices.
If you recommend and you ask Ghanaians to eat dawa, kontomire, and the rest, automatically you are talking about herbal medicine. We use all these things in our production processes. So if the president president should come in and add his voice. For people to, as they have confidence in orthodox medicine, we should have the same thing in herbal medicine or the organic medicine or the multi-component drugs. It will go a long way to boost our industry, as in the demand.
Reporting for Joy News, Kofi Asare.
From national team football, let's do club football. Tomorrow, Great Olympics will host Asante Kotoko at the Accra Sports Stadium. In the first round of the Premier League, Olympics secured a 1-0 win over Asante Kotoko, leading to the sack of then Kotoko's head coach, Maxwell Konedu. Now, Kotoko have replaced Maxwell Konedu substantively with Mariano Barreto. According to the head coach of Great Olympics, Arno Walker, Kotoko have improved under the tutelage of the Portuguese. Great Olympics dropped to second place on the league log after losing their last game against Legon Cities at the Accra Sports Stadium. They will be coming up against Asante Kotoko, who currently occupy the summit of the league table, having beaten Brekum Chelsea by 2-0 at the Obuasi Lenkley Stadium. Head coach of Great Olympics, Arno Walker, believes the Porcupines have improved under the tutelage of Mariano Barreto.
Okay, since I think this also their first match in the second round, the second game. This game is an outstanding game. Yeah. Seriously, well, I would say they have improved since they've had a white coach. Maybe that has also changed the team in a way. But I don't know, and I will try to watch the match maybe tonight, then think of what to do before.
A defeat for Great Olympics will see them further drop on the league table. However, the former Brekum Chelsea boss insists he's not under any pressure, though the 3 points are very vital for him and his team.
There's no pressure on me because I have confidence in my players. And they take instructions from me, they do what I ask them to do. So, since everything is working for me and the team, seriously, we are preparing seriously for them. And we need our 3 points, very, very important. So, at the end of the day, on a quiet note, I don't want to talk, but at the end of the 90th minute, the result will tell it all.
Mariano Barreto was engaged as a substitute replacement for Maxwell Konedu, who was sacked in December 2020. Thanks very much for joining us for the sports segment on Joy News today. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. The news continues with Gifty and Apia.
Well, that's it for this hour. There's more news at myjoyonline.com. Do hop onto the website. Our top story there, government officials pressured Bagbin because of me, Asedun Ketia, saying that story is there. Some others from Techiman South as well. The 2020 NDC parliamentary candidate granted request by court to inspect the EC's pink sheets. That's also a story there, and some others there. What the EU is saying about cocoa. That's a story that we brought you not so long ago. And go beyond partisan politics when discussing illegal mining. Akufo-Addo is telling the ongoing dialogue, national dialogue on illegal mining there. Those and many more stories. Equipping Polo as well there on the website. Take your time, take a read, and share it with your contacts. I am Gifty and that's it for today. I'm back at 3 p.m. with The Pulse. Do make a date.